mean, bro, this guy would be the best spy. This is like Mr. Bean.
The fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever by a creator, longer than 10 minutes, than anybody other than the name of Mr. Beast. Altogether, it did around 500 million views.
Who do you think were the main people who signal boosted the video and brought it into that true viral orbit?
Elon Musk, who shared the video. JD Vance, he shared the video. You had the Attorney General, well, she actually didn't share it. She reacted to the video a few days later. Literally, quite frankly, every account on X saw that video instantaneously. Health and Human Services, they froze all funding to childcare inside of Minnesota.
The beauty about Nick Shirley is that he's too stupid to understand that this is coordinated. Like, he's so dumb that he doesn't have the wherewithal to at least like try to make it seem like it's not coordinated, where he's just like, it's very clearly coordinated.
And they're asking for businesses to prove that they are legit businesses before they give tax dollars to these businesses that are not really businesses.
As far as that main center that you visited, Quality Learning, AKA Quality Learning Center.
Yeah.
Was there ever any kids there in the first place?
No. So that daycare center, it's been operating fraudulently. It's actually had over 90 violations over the past few years. And the day that I went there at 11 a.m. Their operating hours are from 2 to 10 p.m., they're now saying. And that's actually not legal.
So you said you went there at 11?
What? Fuck you mean they're not that's not legal? What?
O'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And their operating hours are between 2 and 10 p.m.?
Allegedly.
But if that is true, would it have made sense that you didn't see any kids there?
Yeah, it would have made sense if I didn't see children there. Either way, whether I was there when kids were supposed to be there or not, why are all the windows boarded up? Or why are all the windows blacked out? Why is there no phone number that leads to anywhere? These businesses are supposed to be operating to serve children. People should be able to check in their their children into these daycares. It's literally impossible. Why can't a lady just give me a paper to enroll a child? This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children.
Well, I guess maybe. I'm just trying to think from all perspectives and help you clear up some misconceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure like if you're going with a camera and like 3 or 4 dudes, some of whom were like larger security looking guys, some had face gaiters on, maybe there's a fear that there's like something weird going on, or it just seems unfamiliar and they feel like they don't want to let you in.
Yeah, they might feel that fear, but if they're operating legally, why would they have anything to fear? And the neighbors around it said they have not seen a child.
Bro, I think he's legit too stupid to understand. But what's even a more damning situation for broader society is that we are too stupid, broadly, to recognize how stupid he is. Because this guy is like a regular old idiot, right? He's slow. I mean, let's be real. He is a fucking slow person, right? So slow that it kind of comes across like I'm being ableist when I criticize him. But the problem is, like, he's very clearly responding to these questions like a stupid person would. Like, oh, why isn't there people? Why wouldn't they open the door for me? It's like, yeah, dude, because you're a fucking random stranger. Like, what? Of course. Quick question. No, hey, can you explain why he's stupid instead of saying he is? Yes, 2 minutes and 42 seconds in, he literally is asked, well, don't you think it's reasonable to not see children if you go to a fucking daycare facility outside of regular business hours? And he goes, yeah, that's, I guess, is kind of true. And then he says, the what daycare facility is open from 2 to 10 p.m. That's illegal. That's not the case. You just made that up. Okay. You just lied. Clearly that's not the case. And he just doesn't understand it. Like, he's too dumb to comprehend why the windows would be blacked out in a daycare facility so that like prying eyes can't look inside, because children's safety is the primary concern. He is too stupid to recognize that, they're not going to open the fucking doors to him, whether they are criminally liable or not. They're not going to fucking open the doors to him. Like, what are we talking about? Why would they open the doors to a random person with like a bunch of masked thugs?
Child there for 8 years. And if you go on Google Maps right now, you can actually see the images of the daycare progress over the past few years. And starting in 2021, the door is boarded up from the image from Google Maps. So I think if you show that, it's actually pretty crazy to see. And then they moved the building and they cut open a door on the backside of the building as well, where they had a Quality Learning Center. One man's been living there since 2017, hasn't seen a single child. And when I go and post my video on X, a lot of people were saying, well, Nick, you went during winter break. Well, actually, I went December 16th. School was still in session, so kids should still be going to daycare. The following days after the video then goes viral and gets over 100 million views, they have a person come out and he says, no, we're open. I'm the manager. I'm the son of the owners. We're open. At that same time, simultaneously, the lady who's in charge, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota, says the daycare closed a week ago.
Quality Learning Center, which Brown says permanently closed last week.
While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously.
So I film my video, daycare is allegedly open. Then a few days later, the lady says that the daycare was closed while that guy is outside telling people that the daycare is open.
I mean, it seems like that learning center has had a serious history of violations.
Quality Learning Center, yes.
Yeah, going back to 2020.
Yeah, it's literally not a daycare.
But how could they have violations related to childcare if there was no kids there?
Yeah, the way they're operating inside of there, they had the violations. Those people are not able, they were operating fraudulently inside that daycare.
But fraud would mean there's no kids, but the violations relate to like poor safety conditions that put the kids in danger.
And so why would they be operating, and why would Minnesota continue?
Bro. This is a unique instance where someone is too dumb to get owned in a conversation. I'm not kidding when I say he's medically stupid. The questions that Andrew's asking are all the same questions that I asked when I first watched the video, right? Where I was like, when we were looking through the Department of Human Services licensing reports, and we found that like every single one of these daycares had been audited as a part of the routine licensing process. And they actually had some instances of not fraud, but some issues, right? Like substandard conditions and things like that. But all of that actually proved that there were kids there. There were obviously children there, right? But I guess the very same people that looked at my commentary at the time, the very same people that were looking at my commentary at the time and saying, "Oh, you're dumb, you're wrong, actually, f you, you're biased, you're a commie," are the exact same people that have the same medically stupid background that this guy has.
You need to be giving them millions of dollars if they're receiving all these violations.
That seems like a really valid question.
Yeah.
Why do you think Minnesota would be giving a daycare center with so many violations so much money?
Well, that same man at Quality Learning Center who was saying that they were open after the commissioner was on the live stream saying they were closed a week ago was also partying with the mayor of Minneapolis.
Is the manager of the infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video, the one that went super viral where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month?
So you feel like there's kind of like some nonprofit industrial complex type of deal happening?
For sure.
And the agenda is just for people to leech off the government and get free stuff?
81%.
New conspiracy theory. He latched onto the Learning Center because he thinks it proves that he can read. He can't. Someone told him about it. I fucking love that, dude. I love that. That's real. That's real. That's my head. That's in my head canon too now. Chatter. Oh my God. You're right. Oh my God. Someone was like, "Hey, do you know what that sign is?" And he's like, "I don't know how to read." And the guy was like, "It says quality Learning Center." And he was like, "What's wrong with Learing?" And then the guy was like, "Dude, it's supposed to say Quality Learning Center." And he's like, "I don't know what learning is." And then basically he was just like, just tell people that it's stupid that it says Quality Learning Center, and they'll know that you can read and you're actually comprehending the things that you're reading.
Do you trust America and the government specifically to handle our taxpayer funds correctly and properly if they have access to more of them?
No, I don't think any of us should. I mean, just last year alone, over $120 billion were misplaced.
So you have a general distrust in the government?
No, I don't have a distrust necessarily in the government, but do I think we should trust the government 100%? No. It's kind of like having faith. Like,
what? Bro, I'm telling you, this is f***ed up. I can't believe that they're making this kid. I cannot believe that they're making this kid parade around as like a Republican pundit. You know what I mean? You should just send him to the farm, big dog, so we can go and like, I don't know, pet the goats, but not too hard. Not too hard. You might actually pet him too hard and then accidentally kill him. Now I know why his mom drives him around everywhere, though, because there's no way. There is 0% chance that this dude is safe behind a wheel. No one is safe. I do not think, I'm standing by this, I do not think he is legally allowed to drive a car. I do not think that he is legally allowed to be anywhere without constant adult supervision. It's kind of crazy because, like, it really does show that the Republican side is desperate for genuinely a dumbass, right? Like, The Republican audiences were looking for a person who has the intellectual capacity of a sea cucumber. Like it was, it's not even the Ben Shapiro's. I know from the Ben Shapiro's we pivoted to the Andrew Tates of the world, and clearly a lot of right wingers were like, oh, this is too intellectual. I don't want it. It's woke and gay. I need someone who's even dumber than that and more entertaining. And then from the Andrew Tates of the world, people moved on to like the Asmongols of the world, right? Like a guy who just goes, yeah, based. But here we have an even dumber version. Like not just like a yeah, based kind of guy who just confidently is wrong all the time, but at least in the direction of being pro Donald Trump, but a person who legitimately cannot drive a vehicle, is not legally allowed to operate a vehicle, probably should never boil water, probably should stay away from any sort of kitchen tools and cutlery. And they're like, this is my guy. This is the fucking GOAT. Wow.
Do you want to have faith in that God's real? Yes. When we die, will we for certain know exactly where we're going? You kind of walk with faith in a way where you hope that the people that you elect are going to work for your best interest.
Hasan, kind of like what the doctors told my mom I was going to be, in parentheses, R-worded. The doctors told your mom that you were going to be like mentally, what's the proper way to say this, by the way? I don't know what it is. What do you say, like medically? Because I say medically stupid, but what's the actual mentally challenged? Bro, that still sounds crazy. Cognitively impaired. Okay, that sounds more woke.
Do you know for?
I would just say Republican since birth, honestly. Like if I was a doctor and I found out that there was like any sort of cognitive impairment, I'd be like, I'm sorry, ma'am. You're gonna have a wonderful son, but he's gonna be a lifelong Republican voter. Yeah. Yeah, it's a real bad case of RSB, Republican since birth syndrome. It's very f***ed up. Many such cases kind of feels like you did not consume enough Tylenol during the pregnancy, and these are the results. This is why we kept telling you need more Tylenol in your system. But he will have a wonderful career as a YouTuber ahead of him.
Certainty that the best thing is happening inside the country? Every single time you pay taxes, it's going to go to the place that needs it? No. But on that case, do I feel certain that I know where I'm going to go when I die because of my faith? Yes. But does that mean that it's going to actually happen? Who knows until we pass the other side. So, and then another thing is, we as Americans, how should we feel comfortable knowing that there are daycares receiving millions of dollars while some families are paying upwards of $70,000 a year for their children to be going to daycare?
I mean, it is pretty impressive that his mommy at least tied his shoes for him so he doesn't have to wear the zipper shoes, He doesn't have to wear the Velcro shoes today. So that's pretty chill. He's a big boy. He's meeting up with his idol.
You ever hear about the Amy Bach case?
The white lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy Bach acknowledged the government has proven fraud among meal sites and vendors that she sponsored under Feeding Our Future, but that it was others, not her.
If you look at the probe that began in 2023, as far as like COVID era, scamming and different types of fraud, there's been over like 60 convictions and millions seized from the fraudsters who took the money away.
Yeah.
But you feel like the state hasn't done enough.
Well, Tim Walz has said they've been stopping to fight fraud since 2019, 2020.
Please abandon the ad hominem on his stupidity. Just call his worldview and argument stupid. It's not a good joke to attack this man directly. It's going to alienate people in the margins. I could be wrong. No, it's pretty funny. Also, I'm not even joking when I say he's medically stupid. I think it's gotten to a point where because everyone is also just as stupid as this guy is, it kind of doesn't matter. Like it's almost like a superpower. It's good that he's dumb, right? It helps him spread his propaganda further. If he was actually trying to make a convincing, like intellectual argument, then he would probably alienate like 90% of the people that watch the video.
And they're still having millions of dollars being stolen. Billions of dollars.
Where does that $100 million figure come from specifically?
Yeah, so you had all the daycares. With the daycares alone, you had millions of dollars in fraud. And the man David, who's in my video, he's the one who has the statistics and has the numbers on how much these businesses were operating.
How did you come into contact with David?
He just messaged me on Instagram.
So who is David's source?
David's source, he has somebody inside the Capitol.
And you don't know who
and
it
that's
is?
public information as well.
Who is it?
Who is the person's name?
Yeah.
Wait, it's public information, so you don't even need an inside source.
The lady's name, I did not work with her. However, the information that was provided, I can't tell you her name right now, but I could find it on X but she's also inside the government there inside Minnesota.
But you like fact checked all that and you looked it all up.
Yeah, David.
Oh my God, it is that Republican. It's the Republican in the state government. So that lady was right. Remember when that lady was like, oh, I'm the one who gave this information and told him which daycare facilities to go to. And he was like, nah, that's not the case. He then, Lisa DeMuth, right? And then he followed up and literally said, but you would be a wonderful governor one day. That's what he said. Yeah, Lisa DeMuth, breaking NPR News, reports that Minnesota House Republican Lisa DeMuth acknowledged the Republican Party's involvement in Nick Shirley's viral daycare video, saying, we work with Nick Shirley on this. Remember, this person has blood on her hands, for the record. Lisa DeMuth staffers asked David to DM him. He's too stupid to realize. Yeah, he said, this is completely false. I have no idea who this lady is. She's trying to make herself look good for her campaign. Shame on her. Either way, I'm sure this lady would make for a much better candidate. Tim Walz, best of luck in the race, and the truth is the truth. Fraud is happening.
All those numbers are straight from the Capitol.
So a couple days ago, Minnesota State Representative Lisa DeMuth said that her Republican caucus.
Nick Shirley is a hero. He opened someone's eyes to the fraud happening in Minnesota, and you should be grateful for his journalism. Anyone who thinks he's a mentally challenged dumbass is correct. I'm confused by both these two statements. Are you saying that he's still a hero even though he's a mentally challenged dumbass hero who accidentally stepped on the greatest discovery of fraud taking place? No, he's a dumbass. I'm rage baiting. Oh.
Had been, quote, working with you ahead of your coverage. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I had no idea who she was.
Our caucus has been working to expose fraud for years, including working with Nick Shirley.
Minnesota House GOP leaders say they provided the YouTuber with information in the now viral video.
So you feel like she's just clout chasing?
Yeah, that's what I literally put in the reply in the tweet. Her campaign freaked out when I tweeted that. That's the lady who I was referring to earlier in this interview. So her.
Oh, so she did help. Okay. But you're too stupid. Dude. So what's funny about it is that, so yes, the lady was actually not even clout chasing. She actually did literally direct you to go to these places. But because you're so stupid and confused, you didn't realize. This is what I mean, bro. This guy would be the best spy. This is like Mr. Bean shit. You can't put this guy on a lie detector test because he's too stupid to know the truth. You could ask him what he had for breakfast, and you know full well what he had for breakfast, and he could straight up lie to you because he forgot what it was, and it would not read on the detector test. This is hilarious. This is awesome. Just a guy who's stumbling in to all this stuff. Oh my God. Oh, it's awesome.
Benevolent billionaires.
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
Just well-intentioned, positive billionaires who you think are creating, net positive societal progress.
Trump, our president.
I've never been so vindicated. But also, it's not even vindication. It's like, dude, the first 48-hour media cycle of people receiving Nick Shirley's slopaganda was a mind-breaking moment for me. I was like, what am I looking at here? Like, this is a genuinely intellectually stunted individual who's not even making a convincing case. And you got motherfuckers who went to college being like, oh, there's really good journalism here. But I could not understand it. I was like, what am I seeing right now? Like, what has happened to society? Fuck! I could not believe it. I could not believe it. The fucking vice president was like, give this man a Pulitzer. What is going on? I felt like I was in fucking Idiocracy, dude. How is this possible? How did so many... It's not even how stupid he is personally, because that is hilarious to watch. Hilarious to unfold. I mean, he literally went into a medical plaza as like, looked at... When I watched the video, the second half of it was like, that's when I was like, we're not surviving as a society. He went into a medical plaza and straight up said, why are there so many competing businesses in this one plaza? Like a guy who doesn't understand the concept of a mall. Like, think about that. Like, that's a new guy. That's a guy that has not existed yet. We're talking guy who straight up crawled out of his mother like yesterday, dude. Was comatose for like 23, 24 years and just got out of a coma. Like, how is that possible? Guy who walks outside of PF Chang's and gets scared because he sees like the towering massive horse riders. Okay, he's like, whoa, Whoa! Why is nobody seeing this? Look at how big those guys are. I've never seen an animal that size before. It's gonna trample on me. Whoa, giant horse. Oh, yes, this is why homeschooling children should be illegal, 100%.
Her staff was the people that David had received the information from because David.
Brother, people saying don't do the accent. He literally said, what the benevolent? Okay, what do you want me to do? I don't know how to do his voice. Like,
what do you mean by the word benevolent?
Like, that's just his voice, dude. Look.
Benevolent.
Just.
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
What do you mean by benevolent? Read a book! Fuck!
Yeah, it says that Harry Niska, a Republican representative who's a staffer for her, was the one who gave the intel to David.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right, but good on him.
What a comment saying, I have a deep-rooted fear that this is how I come across when I talk to people. This felt like interviewing a COD player. Straight up did not realize Shirley is borderline illiterate. Tracks, though. He's everyone's savior. He's my savior. He's your savior. Thank you, Lamau. You should have said something about Charlie Kirk. I did. No, you didn't. I did. It's in this video. Well, I didn't watch it. You should. I don't want to. Feels like a pretty succinct summation of how this guy sources info. Oh, my God. I just want to point out he's not wearing shoelaces. He's wearing those laces kids get. They can't tie their shoes, by the way. Wait, really?
Actually caring about
I think his mommy actually tied his shoes. I know he can't tie his shoes. Let's be real. But I know his ass can't tie his shoes. But I just assumed his mommy tied it for him. No, it's not Velcro.
Fraud.
I looked.
Fraud's been taking place for
that was the first thing I looked at, chat. Come on, let's be real.
years.
And it's really affected the city on that big of a level, too.
Wait. Or the slopaganda that he put out that incited like the incident that ended up taking the life of Renee Good, he would not be found criminally liable in a court of law because of his genuine intellectual disability. I think a jury of his peers, well, not his peers, but you know what I mean, would not be able to find him criminally liable. There is no way. They would be like, no, he does not know what he's doing. If anything, the handlers around him are probably more liable for sending his ass around.
And you mentioned that the mainstream media has kind of been attacking you since this video did its rounds. What are some of the things they've said? Like, what's their main point of attack?
Yeah, if you listen every single time they bring up Nick Shirley on these news sites or the internet or on their TV, they'll say right-wing YouTuber, MAGA YouTuber, conservative. It's never journalist Nick Shirley. It's right-wing journalist.
I mean, I wonder why, dude.
Nick Shirley. Yeah.
MAGA influencer Nick Shirley.
Yeah. When I interviewed Hunter Biden, they did a RV YouTuber was the one they would use for all like which actually sounds pretty cool. Like I'd want to be that, but I'm not that. And then like a liberal podcaster.
Why is it never astronaut Hasan? Yeah, exactly. They always say progressive mind and MAGA body, never astronaut. Firefighter. I want to be known as firefighter. Why no astronaut?
And that in the Atlantic said Gen Z influencer. So
yeah, it's just like they're so mad that we have the opportunity, people like me and you, to upload a video and to get more views than them. Essentially, we're a threat to their entire industry. That's why they hate us. That's why they will never give us credit. And so when they see me doing what I'm doing, when they see me get more views than they will get onto their website for the whole entire year on one single video, yeah, it's going to make a lot of people mad.
So-called evidence comes from a man who has posted anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant content in the past.
Was that, so you said you had just started making videos in 2023, but had you done interviews before that?
Yeah, so I had actually started, I've been doing YouTube since 2017 when I was a sophomore in high school. Mm-hmm. I started just wanting to have fun with my friends and I started watching YouTubers and I saw kind of like the lifestyle they lived and I was like, oh, I'm fun. I like to have fun. I'm creative. I can be entertaining. I could do YouTube. Like a lot of us think when we're in high school, like how many discussions have you had with your friends where you're just like, bro, that could be us.
You know, most YouTubers wouldn't come in here and capture this because of political stuff. You know what? I don't care. We're out here, baby. Like and subscribe.
Let's go back to the young Nick Shirley. Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, so I was born here in Utah, spending a lot of time with my family, friends, playing football, basketball, soccer, track, you name it. Sports was my entire life when I was younger.
True American life.
Yeah, true American life, going to church.
Ban Tylenol? Bro, he didn't eat enough Tylenol, brother. Come on. This is the opposite. He didn't get enough Tylenol.
Decent grades, having fun, hanging out with friends.
Jesus Christ, such a dickhead sometimes. He's still trying to figure out adjectives. Dude, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't think people understand that this is truly a new meta. People who are medically stupid are going to be the next wave of content creators for the Republicans, because even like the Andrew Tate stuff is not cutting it. You know, even Asmongold is not cutting it. They need dumber. They need someone with even less information. They need someone who can't even speak one language. You know, you had the monolinguists, the monolingual cucks, okay, who were cucked by one language. But if you have like a decent grasp, a decent command over the English language, it's still not enough. You come across too brilliant, too impossible to understand. It's too dense. The material is too dense. You need to literally go, 0.5 language. That's where we're at now. Because like this guy's stupidity is not all that relevant to me. What's a lot more relevant to me is that his stupidity has basically caused him to be incredibly successful in that one propaganda video. So when you get someone who's not even trying to present an argument, but simply just like doing the dumbest shit possible, get elevated by Elon Musk, you can actually change American legislation to a certain degree. Like the government took action after this video. Okay, right place at the right time. Certainly, people wanted to distract away from the Epstein files. But it is kind of remarkable. I can't get over it. I just cannot get over the fact that this guy, like demonstrably stupid, medically stupid, was capable of commanding an impressive audience who watched that video and did not think, what the f am I doing getting information from this guy who can't even tie his own shoes? It's over. American society is over. I see the journal, the Nature Journal of Medicine, like the most robust research coming out of China. It's like the top 20 colleges are all Chinese now. This goes hand in hand with that. We're cutting R&D. We're cutting research. We're gutting all of these other like institutions of higher learning for not demonstrating proper fealty to the nation state of Israel. It's over. America is committing suicide, a national suicide. And things like this are going to become more and more commonplace.
Riding your bike around.
And you said the church. What kind of church?
Yeah, so member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Is that the same thing as Mormons?
Yeah, but we don't call ourselves Mormons now.
Because of South Park?
No.
But I mean, I feel like if you drank and partied and stuff, you might not be able to make as many videos.
Well, if I drank and partied, I wouldn't be able to show up to my job at McDonald's.
You'd probably be able to hold down a McDonald's job if you had some years.
But if you're referring to being on time and all that stuff, and
I'm talking about the sheer volume of content you've been able to produce over the past year.
I'm a highly functioning person.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.